So I got some news today that fucking pissed me off. The Supreme Court unanimously, that's the part that pisses me off really, decided that fucking Trump can stay on the ballot. Now granted, this degenerate piece of shit is going to be the Republican nominee. Why Nikki Haley is still in the race? No idea. I mean, when Bernie Sanders was running against Hillary Clinton, there was a slim chance that if he got certain states, that he could beat Hillary for the Democratic nomination in 2016. Unfortunately, we live in a fucked up timeline where we're not in Bernie Sanders' second term. We are in Joe Biden's first term, and Joe Biden has fumbled the fucking bag on several issues. He couldn't even get his own presidential agenda passed, which is fucked. And he has seemingly decided to just throw that out the window for some asinine reason. No more Build Back Better, letting certain things, I think, I can't believe I'm forgetting this, some tax credit thing expire, and basically I'm gonna put that in a little scroll thing so y'all can check that out. I can't believe it. That's the word that is fucking with me unanimously. Not even any signs of dissent. I feel it's important to reiterate what Donald Trump did. He tried to do a failed coup. He cheered on that failed coup. For some reason, this asshole has his hand on the balls of the fucking presidency instead of a goddamn jail cell. But what the fuck do I know, I guess? I guess if you're a rich asshole who's gotten away with shit basically his entire fucking life, then you're gonna keep getting away with shit, even though you tried to overthrow a goddamn country and failed. But, oh boy. I can't believe, why am I drawing a blank on her name? Ketanji Brown Jackson voted in favor of keeping Trump on the ballot. This woman called Bush a war criminal, rightfully so, but she goes along with the rest of the bootlicking Supreme Court and goes, yeah, this neo-fascist prick can stay on the ballot. Not like our democracy is, you know, on a thread that could break at any moment. Not like we have extreme fascists in power. Not like we got Christian nationalists putting through agendas that demonize trans kids and every other LGBTQ child that's in this country. Oh, and also every LGBTQ adult in this goddamn country. Let's potentially give power back to an asshole who refused to step down until he was basically forced to. Because his coup failed and he got threatened with, you either give up your power or we're gonna drag your ass kicking and screaming. That was the ultimatum Trump was given. And you really expect that asshole who's gotten worse and has been emboldened by his crazy ass supporters to potentially clench on to power again? And he's going to be worse than he was in 2016. He's going to be worse than he was through his first term. He's going to be way worse because now he's got more lackeys in power now. He's got Lauren Boebert in power. How long that bitch is going to stay in power is up for debate. Marjorie Taylor Greene is obviously going to stay in power. And several other Trump bootlicking scumbags like Ted Cruz. Ted, my man, this motherfucker insulted your wife. You lick his boots like there's a shortage on shoe shine. Really? Really, motherfucker? God damn, this is pathetic. The state we are in as a country is so fucked. I mean, voter apathy is insane. Joe Biden narrowly held on to like an 80-something% turnout for a sitting president running in a primary, and voting uncertain gets 100K votes? Like, that's pretty bad. And You know, all Biden had to do was just give Netanyahu the finger and reel that fucking piece of shit in with saying, unless you stop doing X, we are going to withhold aid indefinitely. We're not going to have your back. I mean, fucking Obama, when Netanyahu was going too far, put his goddamn foot down. Biden doesn't seem to know what the fuck that is in this case. But hey, somehow the race between two senile ultracocker is down to mostly benign old man who's supporting a horrid war bordering on a genocide versus a racist neo-fascist senile old man who called white supremacists good people, who defended keeping Confederate monuments up, monuments of traitors, who nearly started how many fucking wars, made us look like fools internationally. I lived through the Trump presidency. I have videos telling you shit from the time when he was president, how fucked we were, how horrible he was being. And we could have him back. And the Supreme Court unanimously deciding, hey, Trump can stay on the ballot. Not one vote, not one dissenting vote in the entirety of the Supreme Court when it came to keeping that fucking asshole on the ballot. That's what really disturbs me. It shows you that no matter how left-wing a judge may be, they will give in to peer pressure and toe the line in certain situations. This is a fucking example of towing the goddamn line. I would rather Fox News be ripping into Ketanji Brown Jackson like crazy. I'd rather have Newsmax doing the same shit. Every one of these crazy motherfuckers doing it. If it meant you had one Supreme Court justice that had the guts to go, no, this motherfucker's too dangerous to come into power again. We saw the damage he did 4 years ago. He's going to be worse. But I guess they'll be fine. Even if Trump somehow successfully does a coup this time, if he gets reelected, I hope they sleep well. I really hope these assholes sleep well, knowing that they potentially handed democracy over to a man who refused to give up his power, unless it was done with the threat of force in mind. That's what got Donald Trump to leave, because the military said, fuck you. The general said, fuck you. I have no optimistic outlook on this election. Everything is looking bleak. I mean, Trump is basically winning and slamming through every primary. The Republican voter base is a bunch of goddamn psychos at this point. They don't give a shit about democracy. People wonder how fascist Italy rose to power, how Nazi Germany rose to power. It's because idiots who liked the authoritarian strongman and wanted some type of greatness restored, that you got some of the worst dictators. You got some of the worst and most vile human beings put into power. And that should frighten everybody. But it's not. You have some Republicans who voted for Nikki Haley who went, no. Donald Trump is too dangerous. January 6th was the perfect sign of that. And this asshole is still going to be on the ballot, thanks to our wonderful Supreme Court. The same Supreme Court that upheld the Patriot Act, that said national surveillance was okay, that fucking overturned Roe v. Wade. Yes, a perfectly legitimate government institution we have on the federal level, mostly determined by right-wing authoritarians. That's the country we live in. It'd be great satire if it wasn't so terrifying. It'd be great satire if people's lives weren't potentially at stake. But no. Let's just pretend that January 6th didn't happen. Let's just pretend Donald Trump isn't a deranged fascist wannabe dictator and act like he's like any other Republican you'd elect into office. You know how bad it is when I could see Dick Cheney giving up power more so than Donald Trump? You know how fucked that is? For the love of God, just vote on Election Day, because that's all I can think to do. I have reasons to vote for Joe Biden again. The Israel thing is just a huge... It's not an oversight, it's just morally fucked. But on the other hand, Do I really want to risk Donald Trump getting back in? No. So we're fucked. That's just the message of this video. We are royally fucked. With that in mind, live long and prosper, and fuck Trump.